Hello and welcome back to my series of videos about sensory feedback from the hands. So in the last video we were mostly just standing really and paying attention to sensory feedback and paying attention to that hand. So in this one we're just going to take that one step further and do a little bit of comparing one hand to the other. So we'll begin by allowing the hands to rest on the surface and feeling each individual finger on the surface. And then with two hands on the surface, compare one hand with the other. So just close your eyes and maybe feel where your thumb meets the table of your so-called good arm, good hand, and compare that with the other one. And continue that. You can find different parts of your hand, maybe lean a little bit more on them so you feel the heel of your hand, heel of the other hand, a little bit maybe as if you're walking through your hands, one and then the other. And then you can, with your eyes open, just touch your other hand and really get to know and get feedback from each finger. And then with your eyes shut, choose a finger that you're going to touch. So in your head you think, right, okay, I'm going to touch the middle finger. And then see whether you can do that accurately without touching any of the others. The first time I did this, I was surprised how difficult that was. So just play around with that in your head. Choose a finger, say the little finger, and then see if you can touch it. Now, when you go over to do it, you end up on the wrong finger, it's okay to have a look and then correct it. Close your eyes and feel where that little finger is. Because what we're trying to do is remodel the 3D model that you've got in your brain, which tells your brain where each part of your body is. And it should be very accurate for your hand. It takes quite a large space in your brain, the modelling and the positioning of where your hand is. And it's trying to rebuild that again to make that very accurate and very useful to you. Because what we want to be able to do is your brain to be able to control your arm and lead from your hand and to regain an accurate position of your hand. So the exercise is closing your eyes, thinking about which finger you want to touch, attempting to touch it. If you miss it, opening and having a look, correct it. And then what I'd like you to do is it's a similar thing. It's touching and then predict in your head, where are you touching? Some people will find this much easier than others. So if you think, okay, right, that is my ring finger, and you look and you see that it's not, it's a different finger, then move to the ring finger and say, no, that's where your ring finger is, that's where your middle finger is. It's a very nice and quite simple exercise that you can do yourself, or if you've got somebody else, it's quite good if they do it. It's a little bit more effective if they do it. So if they're touching a finger and you have to predict where they're touching. Allow yourself, it's not a getting cross at yourself, but it's allow yourself to open and go, oh no, that's not right, but this is right. This is what it would feel like if it was that finger. So I'll leave you with that. Play around with that feeling of that hand and eyes closed and predicting. This is really your proprioception. It's knowing where your hand is in space. And then you can use that a little bit, closing your eyes, and then on a soft surface, such as a soft pillow, just having a feel of moving your hand and seeing whether you can control where your hand lays. So have a feel of the cushion and the shape of the cushion, and see whether you can, for instance, find the far corner. So it's beginning to do movement with your eyes shut and to really get feedback from your hand as to how it's moving. If you've got very little movement, then it's using the cushion and just seeing whether you can press into it and get pressure through different points of your hand. So that, just to move my hand so you can see it better. So it's whether you get pressure through the heels of your hand, or the fingertips, or the thumb, or the outside border. So very similar to what we were doing before on a flatter surface, but this time with your eyes shut and trying to predict and control what you're doing purely through sensation, not through any visual feedback. Thank you for joining me today.